The countdown has begun. 104 sleeps until India sourcing trip October 2022 starts. And today is your last chance to get early bird pricing to save hundreds of dollars by getting the early bird price. Hi, Mark and Kevin. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning,
Megla.
Bright and early
Good
for you this morning.
Yes, very, very early for me. So we had to have Tim Jordan on this live session, but he had a medical emergency, which is why he's not able to join us. But we're going to be talking about the trip, and there's just a final reminder to everyone that early bird pricing ends today, June 3rd, or in Pacific time, it's tomorrow, June 30th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's when early bird price ends. And if you get early bird pricing, you'll be able to save $500 on the trip. So this is going to be a short live stream. We just want to come on here, talk a little bit about the trip, show you some photos from the Delhi Fair, and also just remind you that early bird pricing ends today. So let me just quickly share. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say that's half your airfare paid for if you save that $500 for most people. So
I was just going to say how many products you could buy. No.
Yeah, well, I'll see that.
Oh, you buy a few, couldn't you? Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, you could. Yeah, MOV, maybe at least one SKU, right? If you meet the supplier's MOV. Yeah, definitely. So let me just share my screen. And we had a couple of people asking us about the Delhi Fair, and because not many people have actually been to India and been to this fair, so there's this preconceived notion that it must be a really small fair, or what kinds of products are on display. Because Mark, when you heard about Delhi Fair initially, you thought that the products might be very Indian kind of design oriented, right?
Yes, I was expecting more like what we'd get in an Indian bazaar type shop with all the real heavy Indian sort of influence products, but it's nothing like that at all. There's one or two of those stalls in the whole, scattered amongst the whole 4,000 odd stalls.
Yeah. So let's just see some photos from the Delhi Fair, and this is what the entrance looked like in October 2019 when we had gone there. So it's basically a very big venue where this fair is held. There are about 4,000 exhibitors, and all of the exhibitors are export-focused manufacturers. And this is the registration counter over there. And this is from one of the previous shows that they had done, but the registration counter looks like this. And then these are just some highlights from the different booths. So different companies have different sized booths. So some have taken up maybe 2 or 3 booths and combined them and made like a big booth for themselves. And some of them have, small booths like you see, maybe small booths with a table and a couple of chairs. So it's very interesting. Some of the products on display. So there are a lot of metal and wooden products. And these types of products are quite popular, among Amazon e-commerce sellers, even general importers. So here's one big stall over here, 2 brothers holding. So they have all of their products on display. And one of the best things that I like about walking a show floor is that you never know what you will discover. Because when you're browsing online and when you're thinking of products, and you have, you're limited by your imagination. But when you're at a booth, at a show, there are hundreds and thousands of products that you can see over there, and you never know what really might inspire you, or what might really catch your fancy, right, Mark? What did you think as you were walking down the aisles of the show floor?
Yeah, well, look, there was just so many different things that you don't even think of until you're actually walking like down. And I suppose in a way it's done in like categories a little bit. So you find a lot of the sort of decor products are all together, or the door hardware's together, or the, mats are together in different areas. So you can sort of go along and just see the variations of the same product all, in a 2 or 3 aisles. And I think it's, really, really good. Can you make that full screen, Megla, or not? So we can see the pictures.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, because,
yeah, well, no, it's not going to let you scan. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's happening? Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that might be better. Yeah, you can just see a bit. Yeah.
They're typical of some of the products you might see. For instance, when we go to Moradabad on our 3-day extension, there's a lot of metal and wood, but that's typical of some of the pieces you might find thereabouts.
Exactly. But what I really like about the products, and as Mark mentioned earlier, all of the designs are very export oriented. So, in India, for example, the tastes are different over here. They prefer more ornate designs and more, elaborate and more fancy. But I guess in the US and Europe, the designs are more streamlined, they're simpler. So most of the designs you'll see over there are really suited to the taste of overseas customers and US and European customers. Even the colors, in India, typically you find the colors are very bright with reds and pinks, and but in the US, for example, they prefer toned down colors. So all of the products you'll see are in those types of colors. So this is a view of one of the floors, and there are multiple floors at the venue. There are multiple halls, and each of the halls are categorized by specific product categories. On the first floor, there's a couple of halls entirely for home furnishings, and then the ground floor mostly has more of the home decor kind of items. So these are furnishings, lots of cushion covers, bedspreads, rugs. They also do fashion shows. So in the evenings, on most of the days, they have either bags or shoes, or even for some of the home decor items, they have these models walking down the ramp and showing off those products. So that's pretty cool as well. A lot of eco-friendly products. So these are baskets that are made out of, I guess, rattan or some other sort of grass or jute, but lots and lots of eco-friendly products. Toys, these are also some sort of eco-friendly stuffed toys. What's this? Let's say mirrors, photo frames, lamps, cake stands. Oh, these are one of my favorites. Lots of glass, lots of metal products, and more cushion covers. One of the things that I really like about going to a fair is that you can touch and feel the products. So, and especially products like the types that are made in India, sometimes the image or an image does not do justice to the photo. You have to touch and feel them to experience the texture and what the product really looks like. For example, cushion covers and furnishings, there's just so many embellishments and so many effects that are done over here. So for example, this is tufted. All of these are tufted. Now you can't really tell in the photo, but actually it's a bit raised. Let's see if there's any other effects or techniques over here. No, all of these are tufted. So, but some of them, might have some other type of effect or technique used for designs. And when you can touch and feel the products, then you can actually tell what the quality is like. What did you think about the quality of products, Kevin, at the last show when we were walking around the aisles?
The quality of the products are exceptional. You just got to sort of have a look and see the detail. I'm no guru as far as home furnishings, sort of the female touch, but you can clearly see that a lot of it's handmade, and the skill is just a lot of these things are made in the co-ops in the rural areas. People as a village, they sort of together collectively, and they sew and make all these throws, those throws that we just saw, or designs. And then they'll take them from the village back to like a QC center, and make sure that everything's sort of right. But these people do it for a living, and it's
Yeah, and that basket there in the photo is probably a really good example of that. That is like a woven basket that you're going to lose it now. Yeah, that one.
The bottom, this one.
Yeah. So I think they're sort of things that would be done, through a co-op type situation where the women might all be doing them from their home or in a community hall or something. So and they do some beautiful designs and things like that. So there's some really different things in those images there. Oh, yeah, lots of baskets and
lots of baskets. This is an interesting bag over here. I think it's painted.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I know. There's just spoilt for choice. I think it does your head in. There's so many things you just don't know what you like. It's
Yeah. And I think the idea is that when you go to a fair like this and you're collecting product ideas, so you take a lot of photos, you talk to a lot of suppliers, you collect all of their name cards, and then you just kind of see what's out there, and that gives you a lot of product ideas for maybe the whole year. And then you keep validating the products, and if you launch a few products, if you need more product ideas, you go back to your list, you go back to your little diary, your show diary, and then you get more products and suppliers from there. So these are really pretty. These are candle holders,
they're
and
really different.
Laser cut and make any shapes that you want. Yeah, so these are little doorknobs. Lots of salad servings, spoons, and other types of cutlery. More fashion show.
Other bags, yeah.
Yeah, these are some
Yeah,
hand painted.
Yeah. Leather is a good one, Megla. I mean, before when you asked me about the quality, some of the leather items and some of the leather sort of bags and stuff, that's another thing that's exceptional quality. And there's various types of leather too, isn't there? And is there not two different destinations where leather comes from? So one is more of a industrial type leather, and then you've got the for sort of your handbags, and it's a softer leather.
Yeah, so both types of leather materials are available, and there are different production hubs. So for the harder or more industrial kind of leather, that's used for harnesses or saddles or other types of equestrian equipment. Those are found in the city of Kanpur. And then in the city of Noida, that's just outside of Delhi, or maybe in Chennai, that's in the south, you find more of the softer leather that's used for garments or bags, belts, wallets, those kinds of things. Yeah, and there's a good variety of leather products at the fair.
Because Megla, didn't we do a show with a company from Kanpur, and they did those Western style saddles? And we were amazed, weren't we, by the quality of the work that sort of went into those.
Yeah. Okay. So these are some hand painted water bottles that are from the state of Kashmir in the north. Really beautiful products. Lots of wooden kitchen items as well over there. So this is just a photo of some of the cutting boards that were on display. This is again leather, and this is hair on leather. And these are water or beer bottle holders, not water
stubby
bottle.
holder. We call them a stubby holder here.
Stubby holder.
A stubby holder.
It's just another view of the fair. More cutting boards. So again, that's me. Hi.
Oh, there's Megla.
This is me at the fair.
And she's got the mug. She's got the metal mug, man.
Yeah.
The
mule mug.
Mule mug, yeah.
This is really funny. This is a banner that I saw over there at the fair, and alcohol, because no great story started with someone eating a salad. We're going to have plenty of great stories at India Sourcing Trip this time, because on most days we've got free flowing alcohol for all attendees. So you've got 2 hours, drink as much as you want, and whether you want, beer, wine, any type of cocktail, the bar will basically be open for all of us for a couple of hours. So that's something that's that we're really excited about. And it's, of course, you don't want to be drunk and, just drink to your heart's content and then not be able to wake up the other day. But, just a couple of glasses of wine or something to relax. And that allows you to just open up and, have a conversation with other coaches and attendees, and just kind of chill and relax and wind down. Because when you're at the trade show, it's super, super tiring. You're walking the whole day. Your brain is just, working so hard to process all of the information. And we provide you a lot of information. So we've got the whole conference that we do. It's a full day conference where there are a lot of speakers presenting and talking about sourcing from India and giving you all of this information. And, so there's a lot of content, and sometimes you will feel overwhelmed, and that's okay. In fact, we've actually added another day to the trip this time so that it's not that tight and it's not that packed. But the last time we had to cancel a few content sessions because people were saying, "Oh my God, this is like too difficult, and I mean, this is too much information for us. We need some time to relax." So this time we have, winded it down a little bit. And CJ says the only reason I'm coming is for the drinks.
Look, Megla, I think people will really appreciate after a long, hard day at the show and go back to the hotel, and we can relax in the area that we've got, and we can sort of have a drink, wind down, and then sort of talk about the what we saw during the day, and was there any opportunities, and we can still have, as long as you don't spill your beer over your laptop, you can still you're welcome to bring your laptop so we can keep working, so to speak.
It won't be was there any opportunities, it'll be which of the 1,000 opportunities am I going to go with.
So more cutlery. These are really beautiful. I think this is resin.
Yeah, that looks
lots
like
of that
resin.
sort of stuff. Yeah,
it looks like resin with something inside the handles, like leaves or shells or something. That looks really nice.
Don't forget, there'll be a lot of new stuff this year.
Yeah,
this season.
Well, it's 3 years since we've seen all this, so
because it's such a long time. So
a lot of things happen in design in 3 years.
And in the Indian sort of suppliers, most of them, they keep their new designs close to their heart. They don't just throw them out there, do they, Megla?
Yes, exactly.
They're very,
Yeah, it looks like glass.
Yeah, they're very protective. Kevin, you're absolutely right. And most of the suppliers don't even have websites. Like the other day, somebody reached out to us and said that, this is not a good supplier because they have only one social media follower. But when you're sourcing from India, you can't really judge a book by its cover. You can't really judge a supplier by their digital presence, because most suppliers in India, they're still a bit traditional. They prefer exhibiting at trade shows or, finding buyers by word of mouth or by other means. Of course, they do have websites, but it's common for suppliers not to have websites and not to have their catalogs updated online, because they're very OEM focused, because they really want buyers to give them their designs, and they focus on producing buyers' designs. That's what they're really specialized in. Of course, nowadays there are other types of suppliers coming up that have their own brands, they have their own designs, etc. But still, by and large, most of them depend on OEM.
And a lot of them, Megla, that do have websites, you'll find that, to vet you and to make sure that you're a serious buyer, they'll give you a code to be able to get into their website. So they don't just let anybody sort of roam around their website, to show. And then you might even have to ask, if you do find yourself in that sort of situation, you can ask, to open the secret locker, because some of them do have their secrets locked away.
Yeah, and I think too, some of them go to like the German trade fairs. They do travel around the world and do like the main trade shows as well. Like it's because they're really looking for those export focused buyers. So they travel to display their wares in different countries as well.
Exactly. In fact, if you guys are in Melbourne, then you can attend the trade show that's coming up. Mark, do you remember what the dates are?
Yeah, the Reed gift show is on it's the weekend of the 30th of July, and there's a decor show on the weekend of the 13th. I think it runs for a couple of days during the week and then into the weekend. We can actually post that. I think the Reed gift one, I know, I can't think what the other one's called, something in decor.
Design and decor.
Design and decor, that's what it was,
And you will find a few Indian suppliers there as well. In fact, a few of our ISN vetted suppliers are going to be there too.
Yeah, we're going to go up and meet with them all. So we're going to spend a day up with them.
Awesome. We can meet with Mark as well. So these are some of the hand-beaded products, really high quality, really well made. And these products are all, again, produced by artisans that really specialize in this type of art.
Megla, with Christmas being not too far away, which is it more Christmas type stuff at the April, or or is it the same for both fairs? Sort of Christmas.
They probably display it both. Well, there was a lot of Christmas things when we were there in October last time. But the thing is,
Yeah.
probably
It was.
it's too late for most of those products. But like the big box retailers, they plan a year in ahead. They don't think, oh, in June I want to have something for December, because they know the time frames. So they would be placing their orders in this October to have them ready for the next Christmas season or Halloween or whatever they're focusing on. So yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So I've seen Christmas decorations in both fairs, but maybe the spring fairs would probably have more, or even the October ones, because I mean, big box retailers, they usually place their Christmas orders early in the year because they want the orders shipped by May or June, because they want their orders in stores or in their warehouses by maybe August or so, because for online sellers that are that have small shipments, you just send the shipment to one place and then you're done with it. It can be done faster. But big box retailers and big brands, they have to bring all of their products to the warehouse and then distribute them to all of the different warehouses, and they're doing containers. They're not just doing one shipment, one LCL shipment. They're doing containers, so they need more time to process all of these different all of the products. So they need a couple of months before Christmas to manage all of that. So yeah, they're placing their orders beginning of the year. So October and February or March both have Christmas items.
But even October is good if you're going into the US and you want to do like things for the outdoors for summer, like barbecues, picnic sets, or those sorts of things, because if you go in October, you should just be able to make it in for April or something by the time you organise what you want and make a few decisions and get everything shipped. So it's a good time to get into to pick up the summer season in the US if that's what your product fits.
Yeah, exactly. So lots of different eco-friendly products. That's a big theme at the fair. You'll also find there are lots of products that are made from PET materials, or recycled PET water bottles, those kinds of eco-friendly materials. Plant-based materials, you might find some exhibitors doing those types of products as well. That's Mr. Tim Jordan, who was not able to join us today. And we were at a furniture stall over here. And let's see what types of products this. I remember that this was a leather chair that this stall had, and we were looking at this leather chair. These are other leather chairs. And then these are some cushions, I guess, or car seat cushions. What are they? I can't really tell.
And there's Kamud.
Yeah.
There's Kamud, yes, our wooden products expert. She's going to be joining us too as a coach. So everybody is listening very carefully to the supplier.
Yeah.
And here's our entire group. So how it works is when we're at the show, we do a guided tour of the show on the first day in the morning. So everybody comes to the trade show. We come in buses, and we gather in a VIP room. So because we've got a big group, we've been able to get this VIP room all to ourselves. So we gather there, and then we break into smaller groups, and each group is led by a sourcing expert and an e-commerce expert. So say, for example, Mark and Kumud would lead a group. And so each group would have about, maybe 10 or so people. And they would walk around the show floor, and they would walk in different halls, and we will, decide which group goes to which hall. So you can choose which group you want to go in. Even before we go to the show, we'll, plan all of this, and you'll know your group even before we land there. So then when we're at the show floor, you just join your group, and then we'll go around the show floor, and then Mark will highlight the types of products that might do well on Amazon. Because this is one of the main issues that we find sellers face when they are at a trade show or, just selling on Amazon, is what product to sell. What is an Amazonable product? And at the show, you'll find there are a lot of big items as well. And, some of the products are just not Amazonable. So Mark, or the e-commerce coach that is with the group, will kind of help people understand what types of products to look for. So as she's walking by a stall, for example, she might stop at the stall and say that, oh, look at that. That's a really nice product. That might do well. You could probably make some modifications to that. and you can maybe enhance the color or enhance the shape or do it in a different shape. Or she might give you ideas of how to differentiate a specific product. And then the sourcing coach over there will tell you how to talk to the supplier. What are the factors that maybe affect the pricing of a product? What are the factors that affect the quality of a product? What are the pitfalls to avoid when you're sourcing that product category or that material? And so the sourcing expert will be talking about all of the sourcing side of things, and then the e-commerce expert will share with you all of the marketing and selling side of things. So you've got sort of a balance on that day. So that tour will last for about an hour and a half. And after that, you're on your own. So you go around the trade show, go to whichever hall you want to go to, talk to suppliers, and we'll train you how to gather information as well. So you're not out there wasting time, because it's very easy to just waste time when you're at a trade show and not be efficient. You spend like 1 hour at one stall and then you realize that you haven't got much time left to go to other stalls. So we'll go over step by step what you need to do at the show floor to maximize your time over there. And then basically you're on your own, but all of the coaches are going to be available. So we'll have a Telegram group, and you'll have access to all of the individual coaches as well. And so maybe you can, during the day, if you get stuck somewhere, or if you're at a booth and you see a product that's really interesting, you can just give Marg a call and say, hey, Marg, I'm in hall 2 at this booth. Can you come down over here and take a look at these products for me? And then Marg will come down over there, and then she can have a discussion with you. So it's sort of a one-on-one coaching and training as well. You might also, have an issue with pricing. So for example, you might like a product, but the pricing might be very high. So you could call one of the sourcing experts, let's say Kumud. You'd say, hey, Kumud, I'm at this stall. Can you please come over here? And I want to talk to the supplier about pricing, but the pricing seems very high. Can you give me some ideas on how we can reduce the price? So Kumud can, come down to the booth with you and then give you some ideas of how to reduce pricing. And in fact, that's what happened at the last fair. Kumud was able to, Gunjan was able to bring down the price by 30% for one of the products by making a small tweak or something. And, the buyer was really happy because they got a really good deal.
Yeah, and Kumud's got a real poker face for negotiation.
Yeah.
It's a hard woman.
See what is in your product.
And I think too, you've got to be careful not to just
she was probably in the other group.
Stop at everything you love, because I think sometimes you go, oh, I love that. I could see that in my lounge room. Well, but you're not doing it for your lounge room. Keep walking and look for something that you can sell on Amazon, because it is really easy to get sort of trapped into things that you just love, and that's not what we're looking for. It's not what you love, it's what's going to work.
Exactly. So
it ain't all about Amazon, is it? Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Other marketplaces too.
Exactly. And that's also something that I wanted to highlight. So this fair, this trip is not only for Amazon and e-commerce sellers, it's for anybody who wants to source products from India, because the sourcing process remains quite the same. It's just that the products that you source might be different, the quantities might be different, and your own level of understanding of imports and sourcing might not be as much as maybe a retailer who's already been sourcing products from a different country. But this trip is for anybody, because we really focus on sourcing from India, as such in the overall education part. So this was a really nice, structure that was outside the show last time when we went there. But of all the people watching over here, can you guess what are the materials used to make this elephant sculpture or structure? Let's see, there are a few people watching. What do you think are the materials that are used here for this structure? What does it look like? That's a close up for you, and it's pretty huge. You can see how huge the whole structure is. Let's see if people can guess what it is actually made out of. A big focus at the fair was actually recycled and upcycled products. So that's a big focus. Yeah, Kevin, you were saying something?
I was going to say that was our meeting point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get lost, go to the elephant.
Go to the elephant. Yeah. You can't miss the elephant.
Exactly.
Make your way to the elephant.
Tin. CJ says tin. No, I think let me just make it more. We do another close up. Okay. it is some sort of metal, but not tin. Maybe it is. Some of them might be tin. Okay, well, I'll just tell you. It's basically recycled electronic components and electronic parts. So everything that you see over here has been taken out from an electronic gadget. I don't know what part is from what type of electronic
Well, there's
gadget.
sort of like little buttons and discs and things like that.
Buttons
Yeah.
and discs,
Stuff
yeah.
being cut in parts.
But all of these
yeah.
metal sheets and everything over here has been taken from some sort of electronic gadget or other type of, just recycled products. So everything is recycled from, or from just, waste material. And they also had a similar sculpture that was hanging from the ceiling inside. Do you remember that? That big, gigantic whale that they had made, and that was hanging from the
main
ceiling.
hall.
The main hall, yeah. And that was also entirely eco-friendly materials. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions about the trip. I think that's all we have for today. We just wanted to share that early bird pricing is ending today. So we really want you guys to take advantage of the early bird pricing and make sure you're able to save a few $100s. So if you are thinking of joining us, don't forget to sign up before 11:59 p.m. PST on June 30th and save $500 because July 1, prices are going to go up $500 each. And if you buy early bird pricing, then you can pay in 3 installments. That's another advantage. So before June 30th, you can pay in 3 installments, but after June 30th, you'll only have 2 installments. So that's something to keep in mind as well. All right, so Mark, Kevin, is there anything else that you want to highlight, point out, talk about?
No, I just want to go. And I just can't wait. And when you see all those lovely things and you just remember walking around and really just want to be there. It's my.
Exactly, yeah.
And all the
And
fun.
we're also going to be going to, go ahead.
I was just saying, no, we covered some good points there today, and it was nice just going around and remembering some of the things, that people just on the trip, they just, they won't be disappointed. And if anyone's serious about buying or looking for products, and you don't come away with a product, or product ideas, because the opportunities, to even people who are looking at sort of in a crisis over, I can't find a brand. I don't know what to call my brand. I'm sure when you come back from India, you'll have plenty of ideas about branding. So jump on board, folks.
Yes, exactly. And we're also going to be doing factory tours this time. So we're visiting 4 or 5 factories in the city of Moradabad. And we're going to be visiting metal and wooden products factories there as well. So yeah. Okay. And Mark, Kevin, do you want to show one of the videos that we've got from one of the factories that we're visiting?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah. There was one that was because.
Megla's got to find that one. Just a little short one. She's probably got 10. She's got a few there.
I was just going to say we've got quite a good mix of factories, haven't we, Megla, to go see. But
let's just see this short video. Yeah. Keep talking, Kevin. There's no audio.
But I was going to say, if anyone has got, for instance, the factories that we've got, but they've had, if people are in, that have been buying and know someone in Moradabad that they want to visit while we're there, if they, previously bought from them or something, that's fine. That's not a problem. We can organise a car, can't we, to take them there or whatever? Because although it's a big place, but it's easy to get around.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to about 4 or 5 factories. We'll have about 1.5 days over there in the city itself, and then if you guys want to, if you're already working with a factory, we can also arrange your visit to your specific factory. We can arrange a car for you, or you can join our factory tours. So both options are there. And Moradabad is a smaller city, but there's traffic, so that's the only reason why you might be delayed. But the hotel that we're staying at and the factories that we're visiting are nearby, so we shouldn't be caught up in traffic as such. But the way that it's going to work is October 19th is the last day of India sourcing trip. And so on that day, people who are not going to Moradabad will just take their flight out, most probably in the evenings, because that's when most of the international flights go out. And then the rest of us will leave for Moradabad early in the morning. And it's a 4-hour drive from Delhi to Moradabad. So we reach there, and then we have lunch, and then we straight away go to a factory. We do maybe 1 or 2 factory visits on October 19th. Then October 20th, we do factory visits all day. So we can visit probably about 3 factories on that day. And you get to, spend time with the owners. You can see how the products are made. So we'll go to the production facilities. And you also spend a lot of time at the showrooms. That's another thing to consider, because when you're at the trade show, there's again a limited range that suppliers have brought there. But when you're at their factory, then you can see, so many more products in their showrooms. So you'll spend a lot of time in their showrooms. Again, you can take photos. So this is one of the companies that we are visiting. They're really a very big supplier, Marks and Spencer. You see so many different big brands that they are supplying to. So, yeah. Oh, what's that? That was an ad playing during vacation. Okay, so that's about it. Don't miss this early bird deadline. Of course, if you do miss it, it's not the end of the world. You can still sign up for the trip after July 1st. That's not an issue, but we do want you to take advantage of the early bird pricing. But if you haven't been able to decide, not a problem. You can sign up until end of August, early September, or mid-September. You can still buy a ticket by then.
Okay, so show tomorrow.
Yes, we've got another VIS show tomorrow with a couple of suppliers, and we will see you there. And we look forward to seeing everybody in India. All right, bye everyone.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye everyone.